Hello everyone, I want to welcome you all to the channel, the Willadine's Kitchen. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do some chicken. Now we had a whole chicken that was a 5-pound chicken, cost me about $6, a little over $6 for that chicken. So what I'm going to do with this chicken is I'm going to make 2 meals. From that chicken I could feed 6 people, but I'm going to make 2 meals that'll feed 3 to 4 people, 2 separate meals. So the first meal we're going to do here is some fried chicken, and I was going to do a buttermilk brine, but I went into the store and they didn't have any buttermilk, and then I went to another store and they didn't have any buttermilk. So I said, well, maybe sometimes you might not be able to find buttermilk. So we're going to do a liquid brine without the buttermilk, which is still going to give us plenty of flavor for the chicken. We're going to fry it up nice and crispy, and it's going to be tasty. So I did cut the chicken up, I butchered it, and I have half of that chicken here, which is these 4 pieces we have here. We have the wing section with part of the breast, we have a thigh, we have a leg, and then we have the remaining breast portion right there. And in this bowl, we're going to add our brine ingredients, which I have a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder, and a teaspoon and a half of salt, granulated salt, table salt. And we have 2 teaspoons of sugar here. We have 1/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, and we have a sprig of rosemary. And I'm using the rosemary because I have it and I don't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to use it in this brine. And you can sprinkle in some other flavors or spices that you like, dry herbs like oregano or maybe some basil or some dried rosemary. And I'm also going to crack in a little bit of black pepper in here as well. So I'm going to get the brine together, then we're going to get the chicken in the brine. We're going to let it brine overnight, and then we're going to fry it up tomorrow. Okay, as you can see, I added the ingredients together and I mixed them up with some water, approximately about 2.5 cups of water, and the 1/3 cup of the vinegar. Stir everything in together. Then I added the chicken, the rosemary sprigs, and I topped it off with some cracked black pepper. So we're going to cover this up now, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow we'll take it out and we'll fry this chicken up. Okay everyone, we are back, and we're continuing with our fried chicken. Now we brined the chicken yesterday, so we let it brine overnight. And what I did this morning is I just flipped the pieces over in the brine so everything would get even amount of time submerged in the brine. So we have the chicken here. What we're going to do next is we're going to take it out of this bowl. We're going to put it in a strainer, and we're going to let the brine drain off of the chicken. I'm not going to rinse it. I know some people like to rinse their meat after they brine it, but we're just going to strain the brine off, and then we're going to flour it up. So what we have for our flour is I have a cup of flour in here, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and a 1/2 tablespoon of salt. That's all we're going to use in the flour. We're just going to mix this up. So that'll be the breading flour. Once we get the chicken out of the brine, we're going to flavor it up with some garlic powder, paprika, salt, and black pepper. This is a simple spice mix, but it's going to give us a lot of flavor. We got some flavor coming from the brine, but the brine is not to actually flavor the chicken. The brine is so that our chicken will be moist after we cook it. So we're going to put some flavor here. So we're going to flavor it up with this mixture here, and I'm going to mix this up and I'll sprinkle that over the chicken when we're ready for that. And we had a whole chicken, so we made us some stock. We're going to take this stock and some roux and some caramelized onions. We're going to make us a nice chicken gravy to go with our fried chicken. And of course, you can't fry it without some oil, so we got some oil here as well. So I'm gonna get things going, and then we're gonna have us some fried chicken. Okay, so the chicken has been drained out of the brine. So we're gonna take our spice mix here. We're gonna mix it up in a bowl. Mix it up really quick with a spoon here. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sprinkle that over our chicken, just like so. We're going to massage it in there a little bit, kind of get all those flavors in there. Sprinkle a little bit more. And now take our last bit here. Okay, so now that we have our chicken seasoned up, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flour here and we're going to start breading. Okay, so now we're going to make some chicken gravy. We're going to use the chicken stock that we made yesterday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it into the pot here, just to get out of any large bits of seasoning or vegetables from the stock yesterday. So we got approximately a cup and a half of stock in here. We got to bring it up to temperature, and I have some roux that I already prepared ahead of time, and we'll use the roux to thicken this up. And I got some seasoning. We're going to do a little salt and pepper, make sure it's seasoned well. All right, so we're starting to see a little steam rise from the chicken stock. So we're going to add some roux to this, and we're going to then whisk in the roux, and as the stock heats up, it'll also thicken up as well. Okay, so the gravy is boiling now. You can see it's getting thicker. And what we're going to do is we have a little bit of seasoning left over from our chicken. We're just going to put a little bit of that in here. I'm going to whisk that in. Then we're going to give it a taste and see if we need to add any more salt. We wanted to, gonna have to reduce this down a little bit more because I would like for it to be a little thicker, but we're gonna give it a taste here. Well, it definitely is gonna need a little more salt. So I'm gonna put about a half a teaspoon of salt in this. Okay, so now our gravy is looking really good. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just give it a taste. I added a little more salt to it and see what it tastes like. Oh, that's really good, really good. So in order to bring the color up a little bit also, I added some of this Spanish Mexican color and seasoning that I have here. So to give it a nice yellow color so it looks like chicken gravy. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna let this reduce a little bit, about let it cook down for about another 2 or 3 minutes, reduce down, and then we'll get ready to start frying that chicken. Okay, so we have a hot oil, cast iron skillet. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna add our chicken to the hot oil. So we're gonna put this one in skin side down. And we like to see that bubbling going on. That means that liquid within the chicken is starting to cook out. I took my thermometer out. I got the oil at about 340 degrees. And it's gonna, the temperature will drop a little once we get the chicken in. So we're gonna get it in here, get it going. We're probably gonna turn it in about 4 or 5 minutes into the cook. We'll turn it over. We should be starting to get a nice brown color on it. We don't want to burn it. These cast iron pans are known for burning things on the bottom, so we got to monitor our temperature well. So closely, we're going to keep a close eye on the temperature. So 3 or 4 minutes, we'll give it a flip. Okay, so that's our timer, a 4-minute timer. So we're going to turn over this piece here and take a look. So we got it getting nice golden brown. And you got to have patience when you're frying your chicken. And for me, the best thing to do is set that timer on the stove or get your egg timer and set that, because, when you're sitting here looking at the pot, you're going to get impatient and tend to rush your cooking. So we're going to let this go for 4 minutes on this side, and then we're going to check the temp on the inside with a thermometer. Okay, so that was our second 4-minute timer. So we're going to take this meat thermometer here and we're going to stick it into this thigh, see what temperature we get. We're trying to get to 160, 165. So we're right at about 145 now. So we're going to have to let these go a few more minutes. Look at this leg here. Yeah, so we got to go a few more minutes. So we're going to set our timer for another 4 minutes. All right, so that's our third 4-minute timer. Check this breast here. Okay, yes, breast is good. Good temperature on the breast, so we're going to take that out. I took the leg out a couple of minutes ago. That one was up to temperature. Check this thigh. This our thigh is looking good. Check this wing piece. Still about 140. So we're going to let that one go another minute or so. We're going to take this thigh out. So we got some nice color on the chicken, and by being patient, we didn't burn it. We don't have no really dark spots or any black spots on the chicken from the cast iron pan. So looks like our wingette is up to temperature. I like to get the thermometer near the bone to make sure we're getting a good reading, because you know when you bite into the chicken, it's that bone where you see that blood. So we're gonna let this one cook another minute. Okay, here's our fried chicken out of the pan. It's nice golden brown. It looks very crispy. And we can hear a little crisp there. So what we're gonna do is we gotta let it set for a little while. We're gonna let it rest for a few minutes. I'm gonna start getting the plate together, and then we're gonna show you what a nice Southern fried chicken dinner plate looks like. Okay everyone, this is what it looks like on the plate. So we have our fried chicken, we have our mashed potatoes, we have that nice silky chicken gravy that we made from our chicken stock. We have some green beans, and we have some cornbread to go as well with this, because we're going Southern style. And what I did is I had caramelized some onions, so I topped the green beans with some caramelized onion and put a little bit of caramelized onion on the chicken gravy, and I garnished it with a couple of sprigs of parsley here. So this is what it looks like. I think it's a nice looking plate. It's a Southern style fried chicken dinner. So of course, the first thing we have to do is give it a taste, see what it tastes like. So cutting into the chicken, I can see it's nice and moist. So we got moist chicken here, and we're just gonna give it a taste. Yeah, it tastes very good. Really good flavor to it. That brine did the trick. So it's nice and moist. We're gonna give another taste here. Oh yeah. Your family would love this. Your friends will love it. You're gonna love it. I suggest you give it a try. I do hope you like our recipes. You try to put recipes up that you can do at home. That's why we did this wet brine fried chicken recipe. So I want to thank everybody for viewing, and please come back and see us again. Thank you.